The Sonic the Hedgehog franchise from Sega Corporations is one of the most recognizable franchises in the entertainment industry. Love him or hate him, you can't deny that Sonic has had a global impact on the world, touching the hearts of millions of fans, and being the childhood of those same million of fans. Being the global phenomenon that he has starred in countless video games, television shows, novels, comic books, multiple merchandise licenses, and even food promotions. It was only a matter of time before Sonic received his own feature film. Super Mario had already had his back in the 1990s, so ironically enough, why was Sonic so slow to the party? Everybody already knows the story of the original trailer, the announcement of a redesign, and the delay of the movie from November of 2019 to February the next year. Against all odds, this little blue critter showed the world the movie that became a critical and financial success. The film had gone on to receive praise from fans and common moviegoers alike, receiving an average audience rating of 93% and a critical score of 64%, according to Rotten Tomatoes. While it might seem like this film did an overnight U-turn from its first public trailer, the Sonic movies had a long and winding development cycle, almost 7 years in fact. So let's jump back to the start of this racetrack and find out the history of the Sonic the Hedgehog feature film. Our first word of a modern Sonic the Hedgehog film had arisen in early of December of 2013, when Sony registered domain names for a Sonic the Hedgehog movie website. Fans were curious, are we getting a feature-length Sonic film? Fast forward a few months to June of 2014, at a private press conference between Sega and Sony Pictures, an official announcement about the Sonic the Hedgehog feature film was finally released to the public. The film would be a joint animation project between Sony Pictures and Sega's animation studio, Marza Animation Planet, an animation studio that had worked on the pre-rendered cutscenes for many Sonic games since 2008, with their start with Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. The film continued to seemingly be in development under Sony Pictures for the next 2 years. In February of 2016, it was revealed the movie was aiming for a 2018 release window. The movie itself would be a CGI/live-action hybrid movie, similar to the Smurfs duology of films, also released by Sony Pictures. This gave a bit of worry to fans. CGI/live-action films like the Garfield films and Alvin and the Chipmunks never did extremely well in ratings, so fans were concerned about the eventual outcome of the Sonic film. Later in the same year, in October, our first word of who the creative masterminds behind the project were revealed. It was stated that Tim Miller, director of Deadpool, would lead the film as its executive producer, and for his directorial debut, Jeff Fowler was chosen as the director for the film. Patrick Casey, Josh Miller, and Orion Uziel were hired as the lead writers for the movie. However, this is as far as the film went under Sony Pictures. After Sony was unable to successfully continue funding the project, the movie project was temporarily shut down for the time being, and that is, until a new studio entered the ring. Enter Paramount Pictures. In October of 2017, an official announcement came that Paramount Pictures would be replacing Sony Pictures as a distributor for the film. The Sonic movie finally seemed to have a new life and another chance. Under Paramount, the film continued to jog along, with more and more news and information about the project being released. In February 2018, an official confirmation of a release date was announced, stating the movie was expected to arrive in theaters by November of 2019. As the months went on, we continued to receive more tidbits of information about the film. Junkie XL was revealed to be composing the soundtrack for the film. The film was ending pre-production, and the film itself would have a budget of $90 million. No information on the casting had ever been released up to that point, even after all those years. Many fans were still speculating if the film would use returning voice actors such as Roger Craig Smith for Sonic and Mike Pollock for Dr. Robotnik, or if the film would have an entirely new cast and new take on Sonic. However, in the summer month of 2018, the cast choices for the film were finally revealed. Playing the human protagonist Tom Wachowski was actor James Marsden, and actress Tika Sumpter playing his wife, Maddie Wachowski. From the main antagonist, legendary 90s actor Jim Carrey was cast as the infamous Dr. Robotnik. As for Sonic, he was cast as Ben Schwartz, most known for his work on Parks and Recreation as John Paul Ralphio. Fans were pleasantly surprised by the casting choices for Sonic and Dr. Robotnik and were fully supportive of the actors' roles. Filming under the movie began under the working title Casino Night, named after the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 level. It began on July 24, 2018, and ended on October 16, 2018. The film was primarily shot in Canada, in Vancouver, Ladysmith, and on Vancouver Island. Through the photographs of filming and pre-production, one question lingered in fans' minds. What was the Sonic the Hedgehog going to look like? Nobody had any idea what the titular blue mammal would look like on screen, if he was going to be faithful to his game design, or if it would be redesigned to fit the live-action aesthetic the film was taking. Well, fans wouldn't have to wait for long to see what our hero would finally look like. Our first tease of Sonic's new look came to the public on December 10th of 2019. In a small animated poster put out by Paramount, it depicted a shadowy silhouette of Sonic, but this Sonic was not welcomed warmly by his fans. Sonic appeared to have no gloves or socks. His arms were seemingly blue. He was wearing generic red trainer shoes, and Sonic's overall body proportions were more muscular and athletic than what he was known for. This poster received almost unanimous backlash from fans of Sonic and the general public as a whole. As the following days passed, a few leaks were discovered of posters for the film, which gave a better look at the design of Sonic. One poster depicted an early Sonic design resting next to Chris Pratt, implying this poster was made a year earlier before the final casting choices were made. In addition, several theaters had received display posters for the film, depicting Sonic's muscular and hyper-realistic legs. All its negative attention was spelling bad trouble for the film, but this was not the end of the story for the Sonic designer. In March of 2019, several images of Sonic design were leaked from a style guide handbook that was accidentally released online, depicting cartoon drawings of the updated Sonic design. This leak was not received well at all, even receiving disapproval from Yuji Naka, the lead programmer for the original Genesis games. The story continued for this film, and more fans were losing faith in the project. Attention for the film would once again be grabbed in the following month. April 30th, 2019. This day would be a day of infamy for the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, and the movie industry as a whole, as on this day, we finally received the first trailer of Sonic the Hedgehog. Just like the teaser poster that released months prior, the first trailer for the film had received large amounts of negative backlash and criticism. There was a saving grace in what seemed to be another performance from Jim Carrey, who looked amazing on screen, but the only delayed the inevitable. The trailer had unfitting music, choosing to use Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise as the background music. The jokes were not sticking well with viewers of the trailer, and then there was Sonic himself.
Gotta go fast.
Fears from the initial teaser poster and leaks from March still remained, but we finally saw the final design for Sonic. Sonic had small, separated eyes, visible tear ducts, realistic pupils, a dog-shaped nose, and grotesque lips. Sonic was still noticeably muscular and athletic. He was no longer wearing white gloves, instead having white-colored hands. He was not wearing his iconic red sneakers, but was wearing Puma Speed 300 trainers. This Sonic was received incredibly negatively. Backlash from fans, YouTubers, and even prominent media outlets were everywhere. This design of Sonic was a failure of a design. When all hope had seemed lost for this film, a saving grace came in the form of delay announcement. Stated on Twitter by Jeff Fowler, the film was no longer slated for a November 12th release, but the film would be delayed to Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2020. Fowler claiming delay was to, quote-unquote, make Sonic just right, with hashtag #GottaFixFast. News about the film was generally quiet during the upcoming months, with a redesign promised. But however, on the original planned release date for the film, Paramount showed the world the updated Sonic the Hedgehog trailer, and it was an amazing surprise. Sonic was completely redesigned, and it was a really good design too. He had his iconic proportions, his eyes are big and wide, he was wearing his gloves, and the shoes that resembled his iconic power sneakers. The trailer overall had a much better tone, more fitting music too, with the usage of Supersonic by JJ Fad and Blitzkrieg Bop by the Ramones. This trailer was received extremely well. Fans and the general public were praising the redesign and the updated look of Sonic, and interest and hype began to rise for the film. The next few months leading to February brought on a massive marketing campaign from Paramount through social media. On December 26, 2019, a short Japanese trailer was released depicting a young baby Sonic character running through around a photorealistic depiction of South Island and Green Hill Zone from the first Sonic game. An event for the mobile games Sonic Forces Speed Battle and Sonic Dash, developed by Hardlight, let players unlock the movie depiction of Sonic as well as Baby Sonic to use in the game. The Sonic movie was shaping up to be a great film, and as the days got closer to Valentine's Day, hype was skyrocketing. But would the film live up to expectations? Sonic the Hedgehog, distributed by Paramount Pictures, had its world premiere at Paramount Theater on January 25, 2020. The movie theater release to the public came on Valentine's Day, February 14, 2020. The movie was met with positive reviews. Rotten Tomatoes scored the movie a 64% off of 215 critic reviews, but fans gave the film an overwhelming 93% in audience approval ratings. IGN, a gaming news outlet channel, scored the movie a 7 out of 10, and CinemaScore ranks the movie an A on an A+ scale. Sonic had lived up to the hype, and the film became one of the highest rated video game movies, even beating out Legendary Pictures' Pokémon Detective Pikachu, which had released a year earlier. The Sonic movie was not only a critical success, it was a huge monetary success for Paramount. As of March 3, 2020, Sonic the Hedgehog had raked in $131.9 million in the United States alone, and a worldwide total of over $273 million, making Sonic the Hedgehog the second highest grossing movie of 2020, and the highest grossing movie based on a video game, coincidentally also beating out Detective Pikachu. The film would obviously be coming to home media at some point, so fans could get their Hedgehog fix whenever they wanted. The digital release of Sonic the Hedgehog was pushed to March 31, 2020, as a result of the 2019-2020 coronavirus pandemic that was occurring. Physical versions of the film in 4K UHD disc, Blu-ray, and DVD were released on May 19, 2020. We're now in the post-release period of this film, and the hype has settled down a bit. Who could have thought that a movie about a little blue critter wanting to find a friend could have one of the largest redemption stories in Hollywood, and be one of the most successful films ever released? At this point, a sequel is inevitable. While no work can be done during this quarantine period, executives from the film have stated that they are interested in making a sequel, possibly expanding upon Tails and Dr. Robotnik at the end of the film, maybe even including Super Sonic to some capacity, or exploring the Echidna tribe scene at the beginning of the film. As it stands right now, the Sonic the Hedgehog film is an important landmark for the franchise of Sonic and the film industry as well. When so many people thought the movie would crash and burn, Sonic blasted off at high speeds and turned everything around for the better, creating an enjoyable kids film and a fantastic video game movie as well, creating a better future for the film industry and the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise as well.